Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Here
comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, Kick back here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast, where this is going to be an interesting conversation today. But the Eagles win 20-16, and I feel like all hell could possibly be breaking loose, at least on this show tonight. Joey Shakes, what's happening, my man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm just kind of going through the motions of just what we just watched earlier today, and it was not impressive against a bad team coming in with injuries and even more injuries the Browns got in this game, with the Eagles receiving their own injuries in this game as well. Wasn't impressive. I think Hurts had to deal with what he had to deal with in this game. The defense just not really doing too much what I expected. Just not good enough coming off a bye week with 2 weeks to prepare. That's just where I'm at right now.
I hear you. Taco Star, what's going on? Ian, 890, what's up? Lisa, how are you? Mike, Grunge Smurf, Ryan, Jerry, Mike, Ryan, Clark, Petey Tatted Ridge, Miguel Punjab, Timothy, Cray, J-Dog, Chris Kaufman, thank you for super chat. Goes, Nick's now calling plays on defense. I'm furious. We're going to talk about that. Brian, Little G Griffith, Djar, everybody in here that I missed, I apologize. Tony, Texan Eagle. I'll say this. I was really disappointed, and listen, it's a win. I'm glad we got the win. We needed the win, but I just not happy about how this team comes out during these games. They look unprepared. They don't look ready. They looked rusty as hell, and I can't say this is just because of the bye week or because of not preseason. I mean, you go back to last year, the second half of the season, this was every week. And it continues. The way that they start games is really, I don't understand why. And I can't expect anything different at this point. I think this is just kind of who they are, you know? It just
I mean, it seems like there's no identity. I feel like they're figuring things out as they're going, and they're not making changes to whatever needs to be changed, regardless of play calling and anything else. I think there's some positive things to take out of this game, definitely. But I think there's a lot of, coming off a bye week, and you're talking about a head coach and a quarterback that really need to connect and see what they need to fix. And it really did it. Thank God you had your playmakers this week. Thank God you had AJ Brown. Thank God you had Devonta Smith, because without them, probably would have won this game. And maybe some stops from the defense. So
I continue to believe that this team wins in spite of its coaching. I think the number one issue with this team, I believe, is the head coach. I fully believe that. I know some people have problems with the quarterback, and I'm not saying he's been perfect all year, but I think he's not the number one problem. I think it's the coach. This team wins in spite of the coach and the mistakes they make and the way they came out and played, especially this first quarter, another first quarter in which the Eagles can't score a point. So it's all very frustrating. But I'm gonna pivot a little bit for a second. I want to talk about some of the good things first. I don't want it to be, everybody hating and having to hear how bad things. I want to talk about some good things. I thought Cooper DeJean was fantastic today. And remember how we said that this guy's a Swiss Army knife that does he not look like he fits that mold perfectly?
Yeah, he looks good. He looks like he wants to play. It looks like he wants to hit. It looks like he wants to show effort. That's what I really like. That's the number one thing right now. Yeah, he was great. He was great. I couldn't even complain. He had his first sack today, which counted as first sack today. Had a nice coverage back of the end zone, tight coverage, perfect. Flying all over the place, man. I think that. I mean, yeah, for a first game, I thought he looked great.
He looks like a safety to me, though, Joey.
He does. He does.
I mean, I think he could play corner safety. I think you got to use him as a Swiss Army knife down the road. I thought he was fantastic. I thought Quinyon Mitchell was really good. I thought Jordan Davis and Carter both had a rebound game off of the Tampa game. I thought they were good. So I thought a lot of the young guys were good, and especially on the defense side, and were hungry. Even Nolan Smith had a sack and made plays. So I think part of what we need to do going forward is I think the young guys need to play, because I think that there's a certain hunger, a certain desire, a certain edge that they all seem to be carrying. Ringo, I mean, he comes out, he laid that guy in the next week. I haven't seen any Eagle player hit that hard in a long time. So I thought those things were all good things that happened in this game with this team, and I think we can build on that.
Yeah, I think I think we need to shift a lot younger going to the rest of the season and most likely next year, which it will happen. So, no doubt.
I mean, let's be honest. Did you notice that Darius Slay was out of the game? I mean, it was.
I know.
Sorry. I like Slay, but it didn't miss him. Zay Boogie Day for Super Chat. He goes, Nick yelling at the fans as he proved a point is hilarious. Like Buddy, you had 2 weeks and barely beat the Browns. We have an offense that should score at least 30 points a game. Yeah, and what about the yelling at the fans? And then you had the balls 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago to tell Jalen Carter to stop. But then you go after your fans, dude. There's something wrong.
I don't like this guy at all. And plus, he at the press conference, he had his kids there. Everyone thought he really shielded himself with his kids there, so they wouldn't ask him crazy questions or something like that. Yeah. And that's the rumor right now with his kids being at the press conference. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and I can't say. I mean, but he needs to be asked there's some serious questions that need to be asked from him. Because. There's some weird things going on. It's your boy Paulie Chips. Thank you for super chat. He goes, the locker room speech showed everything you need to know about this team. The players looked like they wanted to be anywhere but there. Yeah, it was cringy, Joey. Did you see the locker room speech with him?
No, post game, no.
Yeah, they just showed it on NBC Sports. I'm like, oh my God. And the players look like whatever, dude. Shut up. The Big Lebowski. Thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, this was the get-right game, and we're still not right. Only so many weeks left to fix things. Nick is going into a shouting match with the fans, isn't it? Yeah, I mean that's what it seems. I've come to the conclusion after this game that we're not going to deal with any games where we come out and score, 3 touchdowns on our first 3 drives, and I just don't expect it anymore. I expect every game to be a struggle, to have coaches trying to do things early in the game that make no sense or don't work, and then waiting to get through those scripted plays and stuff, and Kellen Moore to start being able to call some plays to get going. I just feel like that's the way it's going to be every week, because this guy says whatever he wants, but nothing ever changes. Nothing changes. No. And I'm not talking about from week 1. I'm talking about from
since last year.
11 last year.
Yeah.
Alex Epstein, thank you for the super chat. He goes, head coach looks like a clown heckling with fans. It's a lose proposition for him. I would love to know by the fans, what were they yelling about? Does anybody know what they were yelling about? Because I don't. I would love to know. Craig Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Goes, this team out of the bye week was not good. Look at Detroit and how good they were coming out of the bye. I'm so tired of coaching. Hire Ben Johnson ASAP. Oh, I mean, thank God that for the Lions beat the Cowboys the way they did. I felt so much better about our game after that.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I think my feelings are, and I really feel strongly about this, and I'm not saying it in a hating way. I really am not. I just don't think that this team responds to this coach. I don't think they listen to what he really says. I think he's just repeating the same phrases, same words every week, but it doesn't get through to them. They came out and they were not ready to go. And what they were trying to do, like, do you notice they come out and they were trying to go long downfield? Like how many?
Verts. We
Like
talk about
five,
it.
five vertical throws
Yes.
in the first 2 drives.
You didn't,
And crazy.
You got a mesh concept. You had a mesh concept with Devonta Smith in the second quarter. And they actually scored on the same play later with Devonta Smith for a touchdown. Like there was no mesh, no slant. The chart for Jalen Hurts came out tonight, and there was, besides the Calcaterra, there was like maybe 2 throws. One the Calcaterra, and there might have been another one I didn't know who it was, but there was nothing middle of the field today.
Nothing.
There was nothing but maybe 2 passes. That's it.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy to me. And and I thought Jalen, I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, and I know that we've talked a lot about stuff, but to me that's been my biggest bugaboo with him is that the turnovers have been killers, and we had none of those today. And I'll take it. Is he perfect? No. Does he have to improve? Yes. There's things that he's got to work on. However, I will still sit here and tell you that I don't think I can fully judge him 100% until Nick Sirianni is out of the way, because I think that this offense just doesn't work, dude.
Somebody just said it in the comments. I think Chris Kaufman said it, that Nick said to the crowd, "I don't hear you booing now." He is a cringy fucking. He is a cringy, weird. It's and he said it's probably, and he said at the post conference too. He said, just about like, how are you complaining? You've been the coach since 21. How are you complaining about? Oh, I don't really like what you think. Fans booing us. It kind of take. We don't really go off of that or something like that. Right. Like I'd rather them cheer for us, or he's turning out like just a soft coach now.
Yeah, well, you see why there's some soft play in them. You know what I mean? Why did they fold under pressure last year, when things got tough? Well, because you have a coach that is affected by people booing. Well, the Eagle fans, for as long as I've been alive and longer than that, have booed. And it's just the way it is. If you can't handle that as a coach, you're in trouble. Dalton, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, I refuse to believe that Devin White lost the starting position to Nakobe Dean. Dean is so ass. There's no way Devin was worse.
Yeah, he missed more tackles today. He missed
a lot of tackles. I think I'm not saying you have to fully start Trotter, but I think I would like to see him get some snaps here or there during the game, man. Let's see what he can do. Green Blaze the flag. Thank you for super chat. He goes, "Twas the night before the ass whooping, and all in Mark Holmes' house. Not a creature was talking, not even a mouse." Mark, yeah. Oh man, I got about 12 minutes of just him on a rant.
And you know what though? I feel like doing time, we're gonna get that ass beating sooner or later. It's only gonna happen later on. I mean, time is ticking. Like we're not facing the best teams the next few weeks, but I think that ass kicking is gonna come to us sooner or later. It's gonna happen.
They've got to be better. If they play the way they play today, next week they'll lose to the Giants. They will lose to the Giants if they play like that. You're lucky to play a team that literally cannot move the ball offensively. They can't. Luke Bradshaw, thank you for super chat. He goes, "Hey guys, seeing that Ben Johnson offense was awesome. He is my number 1 head coach option. Q, DeJean, Ajomo were awesome. Yeah, Ajomo was another one. I like Ben Johnson too. I would love to
bro,
get him.
watching that Lions Cowboys game and the way like every Lions play, like the amount of different things that they did. Even the commentators were saying that Ben Johnson was doing way too much too early this season. He's calling way too many. He does too much early this season. He gives away a lot. He doesn't keep anything in secret early in the season. But the creativity is there.
Oh, it's
great.
there. I think sometimes he needs to keep it simple. Like from what I get watching him, like sometimes it's like, dude, you got first and goal at the 1 yard line. Just run the ball. You don't have to,
Mhm.
try to get a pass to your offensive tackle for a touchdown. Just run the ball. But yeah, I like what he does. Purified, thank you for the super chat. He goes, would the Lions theoretically let us coach Ben Johnson? No, not mid-season. No,
They could
not at
talk with
all.
him maybe at the end of the year, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't hear you booing now. Oh my god, I wish I was there, dude. I would have been yelling back at him. Oh boy.
That's
And
crazy.
it's just crazy. Kenny Davis Super Chat goes, the Jalen Nick marriage has been a square peg in a round hole since 2021. Steichen was able to mask it, but ultimately they don't work well together. Yeah, I mean, well, we know from the bye week that they were having to resolve situations. Like, what situations are you going to be resolving to me, unless it's the play calling and stuff like that, which Nick obviously has control about. Did you hear um about the comments he made at the press conference that he called the defensive plays today?
Yeah, it's
He made
horrible.
calls. I mean, what is
Yeah,
that?
it starts to make you think, like, when Gannon was here, did he call some things? Because Gannon comes to Philadelphia the next year and as aggressive as he is. So it wouldn't shock me that he does. Doesn't shock me that he goes in and I mean, I don't know, dude. It's why is he getting his hands on everything, dude? Now the defense now away from Fangio? Like, what?
But don't you think it's undermining to the defensive coordinator, like Fangio being who he is, established guy who's been there a long time that's supposed to have control of defense? Don't you think it's like almost embarrassing or humiliating in some sort of way for Nick to come out in the press conference and be like, "Oh, I've been calling some plays on defense.
Yeah,
I
because
even
Nick
called
can
the
do
play."
it. Because
You know what I'm saying?
Nick has the power to do it. That's
Like,
why.
why are you saying that, like, in a press conference? Even if it's true, like, is he trying to embarrass his defensive line coordinator? Is he trying to call out his defensive coordinator? You don't know what plays to run. I do. I mean, dude, this guy gets weirder and weirder all the time, dude.
Mhm.
I knew he was weird when he was ordering Pizza Hut or whatever in Philly. And all this good pizza place, you're ordering that. I knew there's something wrong with him. Brian Pumper, thank you for the super chat. He goes, we're not going to talk about Jalen underthrowing AJ and Devonta all game long. He got bailed out by AJ time and time again. Fugazi hurts quarterback one of none. Yeah, I mean, he underthrew some people. He wasn't perfect. He made some bad throws. Nobody is disputing that at all.
Mhm.
AJ Brown literally bails us out. Like, I got to tell you, that third down, that play late in the game where he caught that great catch downfield, I hated the play call. If he doesn't complete that, it's third
Yeah,
and 11,
you
and
wasted them.
you wasted, and you gave him all that time back. So didn't really like it. But AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, man, those guys are so good, they bail you out. They do. They bail you out, and they bail this offense out. That's just the way it is. Burrow's going to score a touchdown. Jeez. He ran it in. Burrow just ran for a touchdown, dude, like 40 yards.
It's
Great.
it's one of those things now. Like, even, or you're right, the 2nd and 11 play to really kind of to kind of win the game right there. Yeah, it was kind of that was a really bad play call, and like I because this quarterback can't throw to anybody else. He really can't. I mean, Jahan Dotson had what? I don't know how many, maybe 4 targets, but he was targeted 4 times. He had a first down this game. The run game really wasn't working too much today.
No.
I think one play that would have been a big one when Saquon ran to Dickerson and that hole was
Yeah,
open. I
that
think
was
that
that was a touchdown. I think
yeah.
he goes for a touchdown. But the thing about it is, wait, okay, the run game wasn't. They were keen on the
That's
run game,
fine.
but why not run play action? Like, now play action, roll them out, like make some adjustments during the game. But they don't. They just don't do it.
Mm.
Bubba says Nick don't care. They're not his offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. He's going to do everything in his power to go out his way. Well, he's doing it. That's for sure. Because I mean, I've never really, I don't think a coach would Andy Reid ever come out and say, I called the play for Jim Johnson. You know what I mean? I decided to over.
That sounds stupid though. Like,
It
why?
does. It sounds like you're trying to make a point, like my defensive coordinator doesn't know what he's doing. That's how I take it. That's how I take it. So I don't know, man. It's just crazy, Did Huff have a sack today? He had a half a sack today, right?
He had a half.
Half, yeah.
Well, he
it's
actually was
better
in a
than
4-point. He was in a 4-point stance today. He actually he actually looked a little bit better today, but still,
it was his best game. It was his best game. It was his best game. It's not even close. It was his best game. Are we talking about both Hurts, who was considered the best deep ball passer a few years ago? How people saying he can't throw? Can't throw. I didn't see. I mean, maybe it was in the chat. I didn't see anybody say he can't throw. I saw somebody say he underthrew. But I mean, I don't know anybody say he can't throw. Like I said, I don't think they do any favors to Hurts in this offense at all.
No.
Keaton, David Super Chat, he goes, I was frustrated at the 3rd and 1 call before the blocked field goal. Yeah, well, I mean, Barkley makes a big mistake, right? He goes out of bounds too early, and he doesn't pick up the first down. That's a mistake. That's on Barkley.
Okay.
But then you have 3rd and 1,
and you drop your quarterback, and you drop your quarterback back.
And you had 2 timeouts at that point. So now you drop him, and now it's a 57-yard field goal, and they block the field goal. And of course, you knew they were going to run it back for a touchdown. And that was really the only touchdown that they could score, and the only way they can score. But the sequence wasn't good. It wasn't good.
No, it's just some really bad decisions. And like I said, dude, it's like the coach is going to designate where this offense goes, especially with the quarterback. And you're not testing the defense. You're not, give it what the defense gives you. I mean, I appreciate that they were trying to run the ball, and there's going to be some games where it's not going to, there's going to be teams that shut the run down. But then it comes down to the route. It comes down to route combinations and how much you use middle of the field. And there's no creativity. It's so dry. And you're not going to survive the season looking like that every single game. Like the Giants, I think, will be a tougher matchup next week. You think? I mean, thank God Deshaun Watson. There were some passes from Deshaun Watson. They were really bad today.
Oh, he stinks, dude.
Horrible today.
He stinks. I mean, he stinks. And yet, at the second half, at one point, I think he was 14-17. 14-17.
Yeah, he was like 10 for 10 early in the second half. It was crazy.
How could that possibly be? This guy can't complete anything. And how do you do it? And you have your corners and stuff, 10 yards back?
Yes,
I mean,
that's why.
Even CJ Gardner-Johnson, I mean, I thought he had another bad game too, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah,
he's 10 yards off the field on tight end. I don't get it,
Yeah.
He's been disappointing so far. Just keeping it real. He has. David Super Chat, he goes, defense wasn't terrible today, but I just hope after this year we can finally stop this Fangio experiment. I didn't love it when the disciples coached it, when the side coached it. I don't love it with Fangio. I don't like it either. I don't like it. I love what I saw. Like, I love what Detroit does, man. They get at you.
They play fast.
They do. And shout out to Aiden Hutchinson, man. That's
it was horrible.
Injury.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's okay. But I don't like it either, but you were playing an offense that was inept. And let's face it, I mean, you're going to play, I would say the Giants probably have a better offense, I would think, than Cleveland.
Oh, better capable quarterback. That's saying a lot.
So yeah, you got to be better next week. You're going to have to be better. No question about it. Fabio, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, they need to dink and dunk for Jalen. I wish they would dink and dunk. Like, how come they don't? Did you see the screen pass they tried to run to Gainwell?
Like, as soon as he came in the game.
They cannot run a screen to the running. They don't know how to do it. They can't do it. It looks so forced,
I don't know. Every time Gainwell subs, I think every time Gainwell subs in, that first play is always a pass to him. I don't know if I'm right. I feel like every time that happens,
I have to take a look at it.
I have to look at it more, but that's what it feels like they do every time he comes in. He had a nice, he had like a 14, what was like a 19-yard run today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Calcaterra, I thought had a pretty
Ooh.
good game today. A couple of really big plays. And Dallas Goedert's
Yeah.
hurt with a hamstring injury now. It's like
Mhm.
it's like this fucking guy.
Here we go
always gets
again,
hurt.
right? I mean,
Off
it's
a
like
bye week.
Yeah, here we go again. Calcaterra, I mean not Calcaterra, Goddard hurt again. But I will say I thought Calcaterra, man, he's faster than I thought he was, man.
Yeah, he is.
I thought he played really good. So he's another guy that of course, I was very happy with. At this point, I don't know that we can expect much different because we haven't seen it. Nick, I saw Nick. He was talking about accountability and about
Fuck off.
taking care of the little things and everything. All this stuff that doesn't translate when we're playing.
No, and all he says is, "We're gonna get this right. I promise. We're gonna get it right." He said that today. Like, it's just, dude. You're gonna be going on week 7, dude. Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Sean says Burrow has over 50 yards after the first drive. That take Jalen until the third quarter to accomplish. I know it's tough. It's tough. DJ, thank you for super chat. Goes, if the Eagles lose like the Cowboys today, all hell's gonna break loose. I think if the Eagles would have lost today, I think Nick would have been fired. I really do. I mean, the owners got to be fed up with this on some level, right? I mean, like they've got to be fed up. Like now he's going at it with the fans. Like, I mean, don't you think the owner's going to get fed up with that? Now he's telling you he's taking over for the defensive play calling too. Like, what is going on with this guy, dude?
I don't know, but I mean, he's obviously allowed to do it. He's obviously allowed to override everybody, and like, are they just letting him kind of dig his own grave and just saying you do you, or like is Howie Roseman like in full support of this, and Jeffrey Lurie's in full support of this since the beginning of the season? A continuance off of last season. The biggest mistake you made was literally like how it ripped everybody's heart out, especially Howie at the end of the year press conference last year. He said it ripped his heart out the way the season ended, and yet you still let the same thing happen again with this fucking head coach.
Yeah, it's something. It's crazy. It really is. Joey Zambito, they were super chat goes 500. I found it. The pass record. Okay, 237.20 on your stream in the Cowboys game when Mark Holmes talks about being a grown ass man taking the ditty. His own son was like, "Whoa, okay, I'm gonna. Let me write that down, and I'll go check it out later. I appreciate you telling me when. I'll definitely use it. Mark had a complete meltdown today. The guy. Dallas stinks, man. I mean, at least we don't get killed by 40 points every game. I'll say that.
Not yet.
Did you hear the coach said to the players during the bye that he's open door policy for players to come in and tell them what they need to be fixed? Yeah,
the whole team would be in there. The whole fucking team would be.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I hope that at the press conference, and I know that he had his kid, but I hope during a week when they interview him and his kid's not around, I really want the media really needs to push him on, like, what is going on? Who is installing these plays? He's going to say it's a joint effort. Like, who's calling these plays early? Like, something's just off, Joey. It's off with this guy, man. Now I'm starting to see him as weird or egotistical. Like, I'm starting to see him, before I saw him as just like clueless or like a guy that can't get out of his own way. Now it's like starting to seem like, man, is this intentional? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he more like, I don't care if I win or lose as long as I'm winning the way I want to win. And if I don't win the way I want to win, then the hell with it.
Yeah, he's acting like an idiot.
I think fighting with the fans, and then I think the fact that you would mention that you calling defensive plays, I think that's a big no-no. Like, I think that undermines Fangio. And I also think it makes it sound like you don't have faith or you don't think Fangio is capable of running that defense, which Nick is not an expertise on the defensive side of the ball. You know.
Mm.
Slick says if fans can chirp with Sirianni, but they get mad when he does it back. Come on now. I don't care necessarily that he goes back at him. What I don't like is that he goes back at him and then tells Jalen Carter, you don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut.
You're flexing a win over the fucking Browns.
Yeah,
you won by 4 points. Like
right.
that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the Jalen Carter thing with the Superdome. Yeah, that was completely ridiculous, and him doing that this game. I mean, but you lost. You won only by 4 points. Like Washington killed them. The Cowboys killed them. Like, come on now. Like, it's just it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It really is. Mike, welcome to Dingbat Nation, man. Thank you so much for joining, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy. Brian says Nick is a front office cheerleader. Glass Dragon David Super Chat goes, lucky I have the Chiefs as my second team. I don't have a second team. I'm stuck with what we got. Dalton David Super Chat. The problem is the chirping back at fans when we haven't accomplished anything, laughing my ass off. Oh, and you're struggling so much, like no first quarter points at all. That I don't know. Like, to me, like I don't even understand why he would be even paying attention to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Tim says the coach's job slipping away. The players are playing for their contracts instead of each other. We need a team. Go Birds. I really wonder what the players are thinking. I would love to know, like in a moment of honesty, like where they think about this guy. Because if you look at that that speech in the locker room, I don't know, man. To me, it didn't look like they buying it, But that's just me.
Nobody is. No.
Splendid says 500. We need to do what the Lions are doing: run heavy and set up the play action pass. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Overall, Washington Commanders have dominated Philly the last. We always struggle with Washington. I don't know why that is, but it's just it's always been the case. T.O. Hopkins, David Super Chat goes, a win. The win was so bad we can't even enjoy the Cowboys' loss. Oh, I'm going to enjoy the Cowboys' loss, and I'm going to try to even enjoy our win. But my expectations in terms of what I expect this team to come out and look like from week to week has changed. I now assume that every week you're going to come out, you're going to struggle, you're going to have to make adjustments, and that hopefully your stars will help bail you out like they did today. Devonta Smith bailed them out. A.J. Brown bailed them out. Because we haven't seen anything in good 8 or 9 games that show, even longer than that, even games we won. How many games did we just come out and just go up 17 points, 20 points? Like
we used to close out teams by the half, and we would let them back in the second half. Remember, we would always be up by good leads, and that they would always come back because of that passive defense we've had. Now we can't even get it started, and we have to make sure we got to keep this thing going throughout the game. We just can't get out of our own way, and that's just what it is right now.
Yep. Not by sight says Dean is getting slow roasted, barely could tackle. I thought he was hard. I didn't think he was good today. Way too many missed tackles by him. It's true. I really want to see that. Like, I want to see these young guys play, man. I don't put Slay. Joey, if it's me, I'm not putting Slay back in as a starter when he's ready. I'm gonna let the young guys play. I'm gonna keep him as a backup. I think getting Avonte Maddox out of the game and putting Cooper DeJean,
huge upgrade. Yeah.
Huge upgrade, right? I mean, Isaiah Rodgers, Ringo seem more hungry to me than Slay seems. So I think it's time. I mean, the only real veteran guy, I mean, there's a couple of them, but Brandon Graham out. I mean, he played 200th game. Shout out to him. What a career he's had. But, I mean, he shows up to play. Some of these older guys, I feel like they're paid, they've played, and they're just there. That I don't like it. DJ says, do y'all think Hurts is also part of the problem? Well, in terms of his play, like I don't understand what the relationship with him and Nick are. Like, I don't understand what the problems are having because they don't talk about it. We don't know. I do think some of his play hasn't been good, and I think I do think it is some of the problem. Yeah, I do, but I don't know if it's also a part of the offense and what they're doing and how they're setting it up and how they're putting him out there. Like, is Sirianni affecting his play? This offense affecting his play, or is Jalen just regressed that much? I don't think we'll know until we get Nick out of the way. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. And if they get Nick out of the way, it just depends on, are they going to hire a puppet that is forced to have to have Hurts as his quarterback, or are they going to get a guy that's going to come in and say, I'll be the head coach of this team, but I'm not, Jalen Hurts ain't my guy. But at the end of the day, who knows what they might do? They might actually put Vic Fangio as the head coach. Yeah, like,
well, you don't know.
You never know.
I would love it in a situation if I was Jeffrey Lurie, I would call Nick into the office, and I would do this tonight, and I'd be like, listen, you can't go into the press conference and say you're calling defensive plays now. I don't want you calling the defensive plays. I don't want you calling offensive plays. I don't want you installing the plays. That is Kellen Moore. I don't want you doing any of that. You can't override them anymore. It's over. And then let's see what Jalen Hurts does. And if it doesn't improve, then okay, we might have a quarterback problem. But I believe it would improve. I believe it would greatly improve.
100%.
All right. For all the people say that the motion bothers him and all that stuff, I don't know, man. He makes some passes when they use motion, when they got guys coming across the middle for big plays. So I don't know how much I believe that. I don't. Dalton Davis Super Chakers Lions team put in more effort up 40 points than we have in the first minute of any game this season. They were doing trick plays, throwing touchdown passes to linemen up 40. Can't hire Ben Johnson fast enough. Question is would Ben Johnson want to go to Philly? Because, you always have the same situation. Will the Eagles give him some sort of control, or how much would he have to give up? It always comes to that.
Yeah.
Bobby, thank you for the super chat. He goes, calm down, down and enjoy the Eagles win. This is enjoying the win. I thought we were enjoying the win.
I mean, we're calm. We're calm. We're calming down, but I mean, we're glad they got the win, but
I'm glad they got the win. I just think that I think we know what we got. Like, I just think that with this coach, we got to accept that it's going to be like this every week.
Yeah.
Every week it's going to be like this. It's not going to get better. He's not going to fix the problem. They're not going to come out and look like they did in 2022 because Stike is not there. It's going to be a struggle every week. There's going to be power plays and stuff going on behind the scenes. And there's, I'm sure, a bunch of drama that is building up behind the scenes. I'm sure.
Yeah, we challenged the Eagles to, go through this bye week, see what they could change, and you have 2 weeks to prepare for one of the worst teams, and you kind of played down to the competition a little bit, or you kept the game way too close, and they didn't change much of anything. So we're calm about the situation, but we want the win regardless, whether it was dominating, which if it was ugly, as long as they get the win, like they need to get these wins now, especially on some of these teams that aren't really great, but you're going to be facing once you face some true contending teams later on that are good, they won't be prepared for it if they don't fix this in the next few weeks.
Yeah, they got to find a way. I mean, they got to find a way to come out and play better early on. You're the only team in the league without points in the first quarter. I mean, you got to figure it out. It just seems like the scripted first 15 plays they script are so off. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like whatever they're looking at, whatever they're seeing, the other team has already said this is probably what they're going to see when they look at us, and we'll make our adjustments. They seem like they're 2 steps behind other teams early on in games. Big Red, thank you for the super chat. He goes, how do you feel about Moore head coach and Deuce back as offensive coordinator? I don't want to Daniel Jones interception. I don't want to hire Kellen Moore as the head coach right now. I wouldn't mind as an interim coach, but I don't want him as I don't want to give him the job going forward just yet. There's other people I would be more interested in, to be honest.
Wait, you mean you talking about Deuce or you talking about Moore?
No, well, Moore is a head coach, and then Deuce would come in as his offensive coordinator. I like Deuce. I have no problem with Deuce, but I'm just saying I don't want to commit to Kellen Moore as my permanent head coach.
I wouldn't right now. I think it's too early to say, I think we believe it because we have to deal with it. Would you rather have Nick or fucking Kellen Moore call the plays? We're just saying Kellen Moore, hey, let him call the plays right now. But as for a head coaching job, if Nick gets fired in season, then sure. Then the interim head coach, whatever, it's going to be Fangio or it's going to be Kellen Moore. I don't know. But I think they should wait, no doubt. I mean, definitely take time with it.
Yeah, Fabio David Super J goes, he needs short read passes with some runs. I agree. I mean, I don't think do they throw any balls like 3-4 yard passes at all? I don't think they do.
Not much.
Beast Guard David Super Chat, he goes, are you guys saying that Howie hired Bimbo head coach so he doesn't have to go back in the little office down the hall? When is Laurie going to step in seriously? I'm saying that's what it looks like. You know, somebody said in my Cowboys stream, they said something interesting. I hadn't thought about this. I'll put it out there to you. But what if the Eagles front office is content with Nick as the head coach? Because the plays that Nick's calling and running are coming from the analytics department. The analytics department comes up with the plays they think analytically they want him to do. They give it to Nick, and during the course of the game, he calls those plays.
I don't know. I mean, well,
that would be a really bad situation if that's the case.
Well, yeah, then
because
your
that
team
means they're not going to change anything.
No, that means your team you're going to be a losing franchise for years if that's the case. If that's really how it is, but we still don't like how Nick is acting. We don't like how, regardless of if he's in control or not. I mean, whatever that the Eagles are giving him, he's using it, and then what is he doing then? If it's all analytics, then what is he doing? They're just not calling the right plays. Then what is it specifically? But if it's all analytics, this team is done for years.
Yeah.
I mean, put all these all this talent, put it down the drain. That's pretty much what it is right now.
Yeah,
Sucks.
It's interesting. Rolfly David Super Chat goes, the fact that people are bitching about Hurts today is crazy. All the people saying he underthrew AJ in that last one, you must be blind. Perfect pass was perfect. I listen. My big thing with Hurts was simple: cut the turnovers down. He had 0 turnovers today. I think that's a step in the right direction. But I think the coach, I think we got a legitimate problem at head coach. He had 2 weeks with the bye week to have this team ready to come out and play this game. And they came out and they couldn't move. I think they had first 2-3 drives. They were 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and no points to get first. I think that's a problem. And I think that it's not a problem that's just we're going to fix it because we didn't play a lot in the preseason. This goes back to last year. So how does this team compensate for what they got a head coach? I just that's what it's coming down to. Bobby Davis Super Chico's tired of the negative. We just came back off of a bye. It's not good enough.
Don't care.
It's not good enough. Thank you for Super Chat, but it's not good enough. You just came off of a bye. That's not an excuse to be horrible. The
Lions just came off. The Lions just came off a bye going into this game. They scored 40.
But the thing is this goes on way beyond the bye week. This goes on back to last year, having the same problems. I think we've got to recognize we got an issue with this coach here, and then we try to fix it, and hopefully can fix it. They've got the talent to do it.
Then you
This problem with the coach.
Then you start to realize all the 200, 300 passes in training camp and no interceptions. Man, how bad was this fucking defense play? You start to wonder about the defense now, how bad it was, and then not knowing, like what facing off against each other in training camp every single day. That whole situation. Yeah. It goes down. It goes down to everything. Like we're very. I'm not falling for it, dude. After what happened last year, like I am not falling. I'm not gonna hype this team up over a win against the fucking Browns by 4 points. I'm sorry, it's not happening. It's not. It's weird. Now Nick is literally a weird guy. Now he's usually when coaches are at the end of their time in a franchise, I feel like this is the moment where it's like Nick is just now starting to go out with any type of personality he wants to come out with and veto and override anything he wants during a game. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't feel good about him. I don't feel like he's Philly tough. I don't feel like he's not. He talks about being humble. He's not even close to that. If you know you're bad at something, don't do it. But he keeps doing it.
I expected more from them coming out of this bye week. Do they have the talent to win games? Yeah, they could win on their talent alone. There's no question about it. And I think they win games on their talent alone, to be quite honest with you. But, I mean, I said to you last night in the pregame, I said, this game's going to tell me everything I need to know about Nick Sirianni. If he can't get this team ready to play this game after the bye week, after what happened against Tampa, if he's not ready, if this team's not ready, then I can't trust them anymore. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not backing off of that. That's the way I feel about it. Now, they can overcome all that because of the talent, and they can win games. They can win the next 3. Totally possible. But I'm telling you, this coach right now, man, he's got me worried about this team. And it would be wrong to say anything other than that because it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Davis Super Chat goes, first series run play for a positive yard. Yeah, they got 5 yards. Then 2 back-to-back unsuccessful pass plays, which equaled a 3-and-out. That has Sirianni written all over it. Yeah, and it was like, weren't they deep shots? Like 2 pretty deep shots.
Sideline throws, vertical sideline throws. That's what they were. Yeah.
Brian Davis Super Chat goes, perfect pass. Hurts groupies make me sick. These dudes let Jalen hit on the first date. Silver lining Warriors putting the cap on for Hurts. Shaking my head. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Bobby Davis Super Chat goes, can we get hyped again? WTF week-to-week league. Yeah, you can get hyped all you want. I mean,
everybody, you could, if you want to get hyped about this team, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm not stopping you.
You can do it. Listen, do I think they can win next week? Yeah, they can beat the Giants next week.
Yes,
they can win the next 3 games. Absolutely, they're talented enough to do that. But I mean, we got to call what you see on the field. You got to call it out. And when you have a coach fighting with the fans, saying in a press conference that he's now calling defensive plays, I mean, I think we got to bring it up. It's a little concerning when every week, going back to week 12 of last year, you can't come out and you're playing down your competition. I think we got to be able to talk about it. No?
You got to nitpick at, but these aren't little nitpicks. This is a continuance of these aren't little nitpicks. We're having deja vu all over again. But I think it's worse. I think Nick has more control than he's ever had, and that's why the team's losing even worse than they were. I think it's even worse this year.
What I want to know is where the media is with this. Because did the media really feel that he brought the kids up so they couldn't ask questions? Like if he pisses them off, they'll start asking real questions, and it'll become really interesting to see what happens then. Philly Jack says, we need some under center, some quarterback play action. Yeah, we don't do play action, just read option. Yeah, I don't know why they don't put Hurts. I mean, I guess some people say that Hurts doesn't like being under center, but I mean, he seems like he's fine with it. I don't know. I would like more under center myself. Fabio, thank you for the super chat because all analytics fail plays and only passing downfield. Yeah, agreed. No, don't. David super chat. He goes, people saying we shouldn't be critical. We're saying the same. when the team was 10-1 and we were saying all the wins were too close for comfort. And listen, I totally fell for the 10-1 last year.
Same.
I fell for it. I did, and I got burnt by it, and that's why I'm saying right now I'm not gonna get fooled again by it until I see actual changes. I'm not gonna sit there and say that everything's perfect. It's not perfect. We've got to be ready week to week. It is a week to week league, but we've got to figure out some answers. Luckily, this team is so talented that I think that they overcome a lot of things. I really do. I mean, this is a team that Barkley catches that ball. They're 4-1. Now, if they were 4-1, we would still be talking. We would still have these issues.
Yes,
they didn't go away, right? And so it's okay to talk about them. It's okay to try to figure it out. It is. I just don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think when it needs to be said, it needs to be said. Chief, thank you for super chat. He goes, this team needs to take a page from the Ravens. Use Jalen's strength. Don't force him to be something he's not. Agreed. I agree with you. To have talent, supposedly, to win like that after the bye week. I know. Listen, because A.J. Brown is A.J. Brown, because Devonta Smith, both those guys, in my opinion, took a game that was really tense, that we were tied with the Cleveland Browns, and they delivered a win as far as I'm concerned. I think the talent came through for us today, dude.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the well is going to run dry when you do this, and when you rely on bad play calling and letting your talent kind of get you out of games. And like it only lasted for a certain amount of time last year, where the talent only took you so far. Teams figured you out, and it's only going to be a matter of time until you face a good team that knows every single move the Eagles do in an offense. Every single move, that defense is going to know what we're doing. And we're gonna get blown out, and it's only a matter of time. So
yeah. Bobby Davis, you guys are downers. I get it, but season is young. Season's very young. Season's young. I really don't think I don't think we're being downers. I don't, but I understand your feelings about that. But whether you think we're downers or we're too positive, I don't know. All I can say is that when we come on here and we talk, I think we got to be – I think we owe it to the people who are listening to be honest about how we feel and not try to blow smoke up your ass or tell you something that we don't feel. I can't do that. I can't, because it's just not how we are. I'm going to tell you how we think it is, but – every day, every game, I want the best. We're going to root for them. We want them to win. But I mean, I think we've got a big problem here with the head coach. I just do.
You can't,
not trying to be a downer.
Yeah, and it's not being downy, but it's we don't look at the season in tunnel vision, and you can't believe just because a win happens is, I'm happy the Eagles won, but I'm not hyping this team up. I'm not saying I don't even think they can make a fucking wild card game right now. I mean, there's no way under these. Do I want to sneak into the first seed? No. Do I want to depend on other teams to lose? Sure. Probably all the NFC East teams, probably everybody else lost. I don't know what the score of the Giants game is right now, but it's cool to see everybody lose and us win today, but at the same time, it's we got to put in the work ourselves. We got to work for it, because we're gonna slide by, get into a wild card game, and then get fucking embarrassed. That's what we're kind of waiting for right now.
Yeah. Well, I think this season is young. I do think that, and I do think that we say all these things in the hope that they can fix it and figure it out. I hope that they can. We're just telling you what we see, but hopefully there's enough time to fix it, and they will. We'll see. But when you get the coach acting the way he did today, you just wonder, is this thing going? Are the wheels falling off with this guy, or what? Kenny Davis super chat goes, with Chip and Doug, short-lived career here. I think Howie wants to give Nick every chance to succeed, but Nick is just too conservative on offense and defense. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Nick. I don't. But when your coach and then your quarterback have to meet and work out a bunch of issues in the bye week, that means there's something there. There's something up. Well, it's just the way it is. Nathan says the media seem to need to walk a fine line. One of the best writers got kicked out this year, but they hide who? Who got kicked out?
I don't even know.
I didn't know that. Somebody
Not
got
sure.
kicked out. Roll Philly does every super chat. He goes, the same people hating on Hurts were saying that Wentz was good at 4'11. Wentz was a whole nother issue. Like to me, see that's the thing. I think any issues that Hurts has, I believe it's the situations he's being put into. Carson was his own worst enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was a complete opposite. I think with Carson, you had great play metrics, throwing arm, gunslinger mentality, and you had a really he just had really bad mentality. Hurts, you
But he
have
had a
great
good
mentality.
coach, though.
He had a good coach, and with not even and barely even building. Like if they built a team around Carson Wentz, though, I mean, I don't want to get into a fucking Carson Wentz segment here, but just saying, I'm not in the mood for it. But just saying, like, yeah, they didn't build a team around Carson like they did Jalen Hurts, but both players have their own weaknesses in opposite ways, but they both played differently. It's night and day.
The one thing about Jalen is he might make a mistake or miss a throw here or does this that, but when the game's on the line, man, I don't know, he comes up big and he makes the plays he's got to make. I like Jalen like that, and I think Jalen. Honestly, I don't think he's the number one problem. I think the issues with Jalen come from the problems that he has on offense, which is what he's trying to work out with Nick right now, which is what they're talking about during a bye week. Okay, I think those are the things. Jalen, look, he started 0 for 5 today. Okay, and that wasn't good, but what did he finish with? A 126 rating. He played better as the game went on, but early on, they put him in a position, and that whole offense in a position where it was hard not to struggle. That's the issue I have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said,
in a better position early.
You can't throw another quarterback under Nick and feel like that they're just because you throw a better talent there. I mean, look at Sam Darnold and the Vikings. Like, there's perfect examples with good coaching around, and Sam Darnold has done nothing in the league. And that makes the Jets even look worse because how many quarterbacks have they tried to develop and none walk out the door, that they had to really end up in NFL purgatory, go get an older veteran quarterback. That the Eagles almost did that with Russell Wilson. They almost did it with trading for Deshaun Watson. They almost ended up down that same rabbit hole, give up the future picks and really rely on these players to really compete now. Thank God they didn't do that. There's plenty of, I mean, like I said, like, I don't think Hurts is playing well, but because of the direction of where the head coach has got a limit to his strengths and see where he's going with it. I think that's the main thing.
See, I don't think Hurts is as bad and horrendous as some people think. I don't think Hurts is a guy that is a complete bust and a waste. Like, I don't believe any of that. I don't. Now, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and I'll accept that answer if you change the coach, because like Shonuff says, he's running two different offenses. It looks like he runs two different offenses. It doesn't look like they blend the offense or work seamlessly together. It looks like two different things at times. And I just think they're setting him up to struggle. And I think if you take Nick out of the equation and just let the offensive coordinator coach and do the plays and let Hurts work with him, I think Hurts will get more consistent and better, especially early in games. If that's wrong and that's not the case, then that's a whole nother discussion. But all I'm saying, my whole point is, before we go and rush to judgment and be ready to put Kenny Pickett in with his gloves, let's try to see what happens if you take Nick out of the way. Because obviously, by the way Jalen Hurts has talked in the offseason, the way he talked in the summer, the way he talked about after the bye, clearly he has issues with Nick Sirianni, Joey. Clearly, he does.
Yeah. I mean, you're on your bye week, and you have to discuss things with your head coach, and you have to have these conversations. Then I don't know, man. Like, you still have to have these like one-on-one. I mean, they have one-on-one conversations every week as like a meeting every week that they have, and to talk about the week and what's going on. But I mean, this is during a bye week, and I feel like it was forced. Like, let me let the media know that we've been, if the question is answered, I'm going to mention that. If the question is asked, I'm going to mention that we were talking, and everything's going good. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's forced in some ways.
Yeah. Crowley says, I don't even know what the problem is. I still don't think the coaching is good either. But that's not the only problem. Some player, I don't think it's there. I don't think it's just one giant problem.
No.
It's multiple things. I just think the most immediate, the immediate problem I see is the coach. But that doesn't mean everything else is hunky dory. It's not. I think you have fat cats on this team. We've said this before. I think there are guys who have been in Philly for a while. I think guys who've made a lot of money, and I don't know if they're as hungry as some guys like Cooper DeJean and Q and some of these other guys that go out there and look like they want to play. You know what I mean? Look like they're dying to get on the field.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, why does Howie Roseman not say anything? Like, if you're trading for Jahan Dotson, you give up a 3rd round pick, and the Eagles, Howie doesn't normally trade guys and give up third round picks like a lot. You trade for a guy for a 3rd and a 7th. He comes to Philadelphia 6-7 weeks in. He's done absolutely nothing. Like, you don't get this guy involved in anything. Like, what about the other receivers? What about getting your wide receiver 3 involved? And it seems like look at Olamide Zaccheaus. He's got over 150 yards for the season already, with the Commanders. Like, how can they not use any of these guys?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're training for guys. Are you not questioning your head coach or the analytic? I mean, if the analytics are kind of wrong and you want to get guys involved, and change it up or do something, because it's like, if they don't have AJ or Devonta Smith, like, they're screwed. They're done, because these are the only 2 guys he could throw to, and maybe Dallas Goedert. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So, I don't even know, dude. Like, all of it's very questionable to see how this is going to go forward. But I don't think it's changing anytime soon. I really don't.
Yeah, no. Brian Pupper, thank you for Super Check. Is the Church of Hurts disease? The Church of Hurts is a disease. I'm not going to rub a grown man's knee like these dudes fire these hypocrites Sunday. I need my team back. That's pretty good. Bobby Davis Super Chat goes, first week back with the offense, and you want 50. No, I don't want 50. I want 3. I want 3 in the first quarter. How about 3 points? I just want 3. I want it just a touchdown. I just want 1 touchdown drive in the first quarter. That's all. We haven't had that all year. I'm not asking for 50. I'll take 50.
I'll definitely take 50.
I mean, how about 1 drive where you come away with points in the first quarter? Like, is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. Marky Rice, thank you for the Super Chat. Take the points, Nick. He took the points. Quarterback 1 threw the football. 11, 14, 26, 81, 83, and 6, middle of the field. And quarterback one ran. He spread the ball. Smoke your cigar. Oh, we're smoking a cigar, no doubt about it. You still got to celebrate a win, no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, what I learned coming off this bye week was that Nick is not going to be able to get these guys ready when he needs to. That they're going to have to rely on the talent alone, and hopefully the other coaches to make up for the deficiencies of the head coach. That I'm convinced of at this point.
Yeah.
Sean Davis Super Chat goes, picks, fumbles, and underthrows. The Hurts Trinity. We were supposed to put the Browns away early like Washington did. And we should have. I mean, we should have. To me, once they started to play better, I thought offensively later in the game. It's just the first quarter. It's like, why is every first quarter we come out and we look like we're not ready to play? I mean, I don't think it's too hard to ask to be competitive in the first quarter. I don't get it. I don't think that's asking too much. We're the only team to not score points in the first quarter all year. And it just doesn't look good, Joey.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, I don't know how, like, you're not making any adjustments. So, I mean, you would like to get some points on the board to kind of, I don't know, maybe try to put a team away, at least by the second half, put a team away by the second half. You could start to, you could push the pedal a little bit more, at least, be creative early and try to get something on there. But I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mike says 500. I said a few times, I don't know if you've seen it, but I sent you a couple more on Twitter X supposedly. No, I haven't been on my Twitter. I'll check it out after the stream. Bobby Davis Super Chat goes, Nick fired or not, season over for you guys, really? No, nobody ever said the season was over. I don't think you're hearing, like, I think you're missing something, or I didn't say something right way. No, nobody's saying the season's over. What we're saying is we've got these certain issues, and we seem like we can't fix these issues, but these issues are here, and we can't ignore them. We've got to look at them, confront them, and figure it out. And before the season goes on, because right now you're at week 6. And if you're doing this in December and January, it's going to be a problem. So we're pointing out what areas in which we've got problems right now so we can fix it. Not because we believe the season's over, but because we believe that we want to save the season. And in terms of firing Nick, if Nick got fired during the season, I don't believe it would hurt this team at all. I honestly don't.
No.
Because I don't think he's that good of a coach. And that's the truth. But I'm not even advocating him getting fired. I said if they lost to the Browns, I would. I'm advocating him not calling the plays or being part of the offense. That's what I'm advocating. And I think that's one way to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Jolo says 500. Do you see us moving on from Fangio defense next year? I don't think they will. I for whatever reason, the last 3 years they love it. So unless Fangio leaves, I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
Fabio, thank you for super chat. He goes, Hurts not seeing open guys and waits for AJ and Smitty. Sometimes, yeah, he does. It happens. It's true. It does happen. But the question then becomes, why does he do that? That's the question. My hypothesis, what I believe, is he does that because he doesn't trust the plays that the coach and the offense are putting out there. And so what he does is he looks back to where he feels comfortable, because he's not comfortable in what they're doing. And I think that that's actually proven by the fact that him and Nick Sirianni are fighting or having to get together and work out problems in the bye week. That's why I think it happens. That's my thought process anyways. Fabio, and thank you for that super chat.
Oh, man. It's insane.
Jay Wheels, thank you for super chat. He goes, Nick is the face of the analytical play calling system. Lori loves it. It started back when Reed was here, and they here with those hated scripted plays. Yeah, scripted plays. Absolutely. Brian, thank you for super chat. He goes, Hurts throw a pass other than go ball, fail. Hurts read defense, fail. Jalen Hurts be normal, fail. Borderline impossible, challenge. So, I mean, if you're right and it's all on Hurts and it's not the coach and it's the quarterback, then I guess we're in big trouble, because I don't know how you fix that if that's the case. I don't know how you fix it. I don't think it's the quarterback. I think the quarterback has problems, but I think the problems, like I said, are coach related.
If he's throwing everything but a fucking vert route, then who's telling him to do that then? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Hurts is going to play bad, I think the coaching staff is making him look even worse if he's not throwing anything else. Like, That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I can't just sneak through the coaching staff and blame the quarterback 100% and just blame him. I can't do it.
No.
I've been on this coaching staff's ass all season long, and and the season just started, literally.
Right. I agree with you. But as long as this head coach is there, and as long as he's got some sort of control, I don't think you're going to see anything look any different. It's going to be the same thing every week. You know what I mean? Jalen's playing Madden freaking verticals are playing. I know, but who's calling? But what Joey's saying is they're calling the routes for them to run the verticals. Jalen isn't saying go run the verticals. I'm only going to throw if you run verticals. You look at some of the plays, you've literally got 3 receivers all running downfield, nobody short. Isn't that the offensive play calling? Isn't that the routes and the design of the offense, Joey? Doesn't that fall into coaching, putting him in a bad position? That's what I think.
Makes no sense.
Roll Philly Dog David Super J goes, Pumper knows quarterbacks like Nick knows how to motivate. Come on. I'm not gonna trash anybody's views. I'm just saying we've got to fix these problems now while we can, because we got to figure it out, because I think this team is still talented. If they play to their level, man, I think they could do damage. But I think this coach is holding this team back. And that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Davis Super Chat, he goes, did you guys see the dime to AJ Brown taking shots? Did you guys see the dime to AJ? Listen, yeah, I mean, I thought the pass, the touchdown pass was great. I thought the play was dangerous play, but it worked. It was good pass, good catch. Yeah.
There's times where it works. There's times where it works, and there's times where it doesn't work, because the Eagles do it so much during the game. When you're not checking down, you're not challenging the defense to worry about other things, and you're just taking vertical shots. It's not always going to work. It's not going to work all the time, because teams are going to be ready for it. You know what I mean? You're going to get away with it. That's the big cop-out play for the Eagles. That's 2nd and 11 to pretty much seal the game. It's a big cop-out play. You could have ran 2 more plays. You could have ran just 2 more plays, whether it's a run play, a short pass, a crosser, a mesh concept. I don't care what it is, but that was a risky throw, but he got it. So there you go. Right.
Exactly. I think we might have our first Philly Shakedown debate between Brian Pumper and Roll Philly Dogs here, because we got it brewing. Brian Pumper, that Super Chat goes, dude's mad because I'm not a Jalen Hurts jockstrap sniffer. I want my team to be good, and I'm going to call ass when I see it. You got to call what you think is right, man. And if that's what you think, then I have no issue with it.
So, Brian, do you have no issue with do you not? Well, let me ask. I mean, I can ask a subscriber. Do you have any issue with the coaching staff? Brian, is there any issue with the coaching staff at all? Do you think it's 100% Jalen Hurts? Like, do you think you could throw in any quarterback under this coaching staff right now, and they will succeed even well?
Right.
Answer me that.
Yeah, I agree. Roll Philly Dog David Super Chat. Yeah, Hurts sucks. Go get Watson or Russ. No.
They tried. They actually tried. So it's not like they didn't.
Yes, Joey. Yes, he orders Little Caesars, but a great quarterback gets it done. Yeah, I think there are very few quarterbacks that can perform even despite like really bad coaching and play design on offense. I think there are very few quarterbacks that could do it. Maybe one in this league right now, maybe just one. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Hurts is Patrick Mahomes. So I think he needs good play calling. He needs good coaching. He needs good players around him. I don't think they're doing Hurts any favors.
No, it's not helping him.
I just can't. I can't write Jalen Hurts off until I see this coach. This coach is gone. That's the truth. I need to see what they look like when you change things around. David Super Chat. Huff got half a sack. I know Huff big time.
He's getting there. I mean? That $17 million is going to be worth it soon.
Right. Exactly. Well, it seems like this is going to be a fun week of debates. you would think, and I kind of get our man Brian, because like I get it, man. Like he's sitting there going, man, we won this game, you know, not Pumper, but Bobby rather, because Pumper he's just telling us like he thinks, but I understand. I mean, it is frustrating. We're talking about negative stuff, and they just won. Why the frig are we talking about negative stuff? I get it. I do get it, and I do feel for you, and that's why I do my cigar video because that's like my positive outlook, you know. But I just think this team has a fundamental problem with this coach, and I feel like I don't want to do what we did last year, where it was like 10-1 and we just ignore all these issues. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to do that because look what happened to us. You know.
I know.
Dalton W. Davis super chat, my man. He goes, since they let the players wear the number 0 this year, do you think we could petition for Huff to change his number to 0.5? I don't think they allow fractions or decimals. Jay Wheels Davis super chat. He goes, offense is pure pocket passer. Offense is for a pure pocket pass, not a running quarterback. Yeah, I don't think it fits him. You know. Oh, fat ass is here. Look at that fat ass. Start Kenny Pickett. I wonder who this could be.
Oh yeah.
I wonder
With
who this
fucking
is with the name fat ass. I wonder. What's
fucking
up, John
life,
Doe?
dude.
Jeffrey, thank you for super chat. Goes, Nick is a mad scientist. He is having his hands in offense and defense to please his ego. Washington Giants will give us a good run. It's going to be an interesting.
I think they
Be an
will.
interesting week. Yeah.
I think they will.
Yeah. Question is will the Eagles go out next week? And will the Eagles go out next week and will they score points in the first quarter?
No, and maybe they'll force the, maybe they'll, I know they ran with Saquon Barkley today. Maybe they'll run with him more next week. I mean, this is going to be a big week for him this week. Extra motivation this week, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Pure Fight, the every super chat. He goes, is there going to be a cigar video? Yeah, there'll be a cigar video. I do it during every win. I'm going to speak about the things that I thought were good, probably more than anything, and I'll mention some of the bad things. But I'm not going to sit there and tell you that all the problems are solved now. I can't do that. Brian Pumper Davis super chat, my man. He goes, I can't be happy about a 4-point victory against the worst quarterback. I agree. Jalen Hurts has not gotten better, and his double argument with the head coach killed my team. So that's interesting. You think that what's killing this team is the relationship between Nick and Jalen? And if you think that's like an unfixable thing, would you get rid of Nick before Jalen or what? How would you do that?
Bumping, they're definitely bumping. I mean, they're bumping heads, and like I think maybe Hurts is just tired of just what's going on. I mean, it's just lackluster. I mean, even after the game, he'd even talk about the offense. Like he was on the field on the microphone. He said it was, he congratulated the defense before anything because they made, the defense didn't make stops today, which they did. They made some stops today. Offense doesn't have a chance. We saw that last week when the defense ain't making stops. Your offense isn't working, not doing anything, and nothing is working. Period. Now we're starting to see that we have an issue with special teams. Now we start to see an issue there that we've had some field goals that were blocked, or maybe it was an extra point in a field goal. I don't remember for another game, but they got to tighten up on that too. Do you like Cooper DeJean at punt return, or do you think you like Covey there a little bit more?
I mean, if Covey can go, put him there. But I think DeJean I think he's going to get better and better. I mean, his only second game returning him. I kind of like him. I kind of like him there, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's gonna break one, dude. He's got tremendous speed. He's fast. So I mean, we'll see, dude. We'll see. When does Covey come back?
Probably not for another few weeks. I thought it was wasn't it 6 weeks? Oh, I forgot what it was.
I think it's 4, but I'm not sure. Polska Trucker Thaver Super Chat. He goes, same offense, same defense from last year. We will be mediocre at best. The rest of the East will give us tough games. It's going to be tough games. No, there's no doubt about
They
it.
shouldn't be. No.
I really really thought that or really hoped that they would come out and just be like, just ready to go. Refreshed after the bye week, and
yeah,
I just couldn't score a point in the first quarter again.
Yeah, true.
It's crazy. Brian says, "But blame both Jalen and Nick. I really want both these bums off my team."
All right. Well, I hear every time. Yeah, no, Brian, I understand. Like every time you say something, you just talk about Hurts every time. So I don't know if it's Nick and Hurts or it's just Hurts in general. Yeah. But as long as you know that there is a Nick Sirianni problem, then I agree. Anybody could have their opinion. I get it. But
yeah. Rivera, thank you for super chat. He goes, ugly win, but what time cigar feast like? I'm not doing a live one. It's gonna be a recording. It's gonna be recorded and then I'll post it. Probably be posted by probably about 2 hours from this point right now, maybe a little less. This guy wants to get rid of both head coach and quarterback. Yeah. Who the F calls verticals that including the tight end while they're showing you they're blitzing every play? I know, and that's my point. That's why I can't say I think it's all Hurts or I think Hurts is the problem. I don't think Hurts is the main problem. I do think he makes mistakes. He made turnovers of the ball too much. He does things wrong, but I really think that all that's fixable with the right coaching. And I don't think he's getting it. And not only do I not think it's the right coaching, but I actually believe in my heart, I actually believe that the head coach is sabotaging the offensive coordinator. That's the issue I have. I believe that he is actively sabotaging, willfully or by accident. He is sabotaging the offensive coordinator, and in turn, he's causing problems between him and the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at with it. That's what I believe. So until you remove that guy who's sabotaging, then how can I make a real judgment on Jalen? That's my feeling. Yeah, Crush, thank you for super chat. He goes, Washington might win the division. They look more improved. I know, troll, but I gave up. I can't do this anymore. I understand. I understand the frustration, but it is week 6. I mean, we're talking by December, everything may look totally different. We may be rolling. We may figure it out. So hang in there, man. Don't bail out this early. Bobby Davis, super chat, man. He goes, I remember when you thought Hurts was a bad pick. Yeah, well, I didn't like the pick, not because I didn't like Hurts. Like, if you listen to the video on the drafting of Hurts, I said 2 or 3 times, this has nothing to do with Hurts. He might turn out to be a great quarterback. I don't know. I didn't like the strategy. You had just signed a franchise quarterback, and here you're drafting another quarterback in the second round when I'm thinking you got to go out and get more players that can start right away. So it wasn't that I like, it wasn't anything personal. It was the strategy. And if the Eagles last year would have drafted a quarterback, yeah, in the second round, I would have had a problem with that too. So it is what it is. Oh, God. Brian, thank you for super chat. Goes, Nick orders Little Caesars. He's cooked. I know. I got a problem with that. And Jalen plays quarterback like Mitch McConnell. But his tongue hasn't moved. They both, oh, my God, that's hilarious. He called him Mitch McConnell. That guy is so old looking. Jay Wheels, David super chat. Goes, Hurts issues, slow arching throws, poor decisions. Yeah,
I just watched that post game press conference is actually pretty weird. It's a little.
You see what I'm saying, right?
I don't see any energy. There's no energy in that fucking room. Like they're all like there's no energy at all in that locker room. Like,
it just seems like something's off, man. I'm telling you, you can feel it. It is. It got weird today. It got weird. But you know what? We'll see. We will see. I have no idea. Florida. Okay, that's somebody else. A win is a win, but I still don't feel confident in our play calling. Take away Nick input play calling. Let Kellen have full control and watch a different third play.
Yeah,
Couldn't hurt.
possibly.
That's what I want. That's what I want. And then if he looks like Mitch McConnell out there on the podium, I'll be right there with my man. I will. DJ David Super Chat. He goes, I wanted Nick fired in the offseason. I didn't want more as our offensive coordinator. I was 50-50 with Fangio. Hurts hasn't played good games since the Super Bowl. We got a problem, Philly and Joey. Yeah. We got issues. We do. We got issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Agreed.
Let's see. Philly, you're so handsome. Oh, thank you. Geno Smith is another example. Yeah. What about Sam Darnold, right? I mean, he looked like
I talk about him all the time.
How many years? And now he looks great. I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta find the right guy.
This is Sam Darnold that's never shown really that much of a flash anywhere else. Really, barely even a flash. I think JJ McCarthy tears his ACL, and then you know what I mean. Like that's going to be a tough decision for them. What happens after this year? Like what do they do after this year? You know, it's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah. Stephanie says, "Philly fan till damn die, but you're all weird sometimes." Hey, it is what it is.
You need weird in the world, bro.
I think like, dude, calling us weird is like, I don't know, man. We've been called much worse than that. So, oh, thank you. Take it as a positive. You know, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right?
It's fucking nuts. The Giants game will be tough only because of how we're coached and how we prepare and how things are dialed up every week. Every week is going to be really, really tough. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought the whole press conference stuff, the post it, like it was all kind of weird. I think there's a lot going on. I can't wait to see like how the press conferences go this week, what kind of questions they ask, and if the media is going to start pushing forth a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hungry and humble. This guy is so
I know, right? Roll Philly Dogs. Thank you for that super chat, my man. Sorry I missed this earlier. So Sam Darnold is a perfect example of coaching matters. Yeah, he is. You know, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of football left to play, and we'll see if they can fix it. It's just at this point, I can't expect Nick Sirianni to. I expect next week to come out to struggle in the first quarter, and then to make the adjustments, and then probably pull the game out. That's what I think will happen. They'll probably end up being 6-2, but I don't think we're going to have any comfortable wins. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
You know, so we'll see. But anyways, anything else, man, you want to say before we get out of here? I'm ready to go do my cigar video.
Yeah.
And then go watch Tulsa Kings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta watch it tomorrow.
Have you watched Penguin?
I'm waiting till it's done. I'm gonna binge it because I feel like I'm gonna like it too much.
Good. It's good so far. Much better than the movie was. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's it. I mean, I like I said, all I said going into this game was I wanted to win. Whether it was ugly, it was dominating. Doesn't matter what it was. They got the win. That's all that matters. But you know, it's gonna be a lot of crap this week. It's gonna be another week of Eagle fans going at each other, and whose fault is it? And it's gonna be nuts,
right? Lucius Davis goes, if coaching don't matter, then bring back Nick. Yeah, well, I mean, it does matter. That's the problem. Brian Puppet Davis Super Chat, he goes, he's squashed. Brian cracks me up. Like, you should be like a stand-up comedian just doing stuff on the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. I think it'd be hilarious. If Jalen Hurts turns the ball over, I will turns over the ball, I will steamroll him. I want to fight the dude. You want to fight the dude. He wants to fight him. Man, I love that guy. I love you, man. You're awesome. Even though I don't agree with Jalen Hurts, that's my kind of guy right there, man. I like that dude.
To the
Teal
point.
Hopkins, they were super chat. Because hungry and humble, but you're yelling at fans. I know, it's so stupid. He's literally yelling at fans. And he's calling himself, and he says, be humble. This guy is such a fraud. It's not even funny. He's yelling at fans and then telling the players to be humble. This guy's crazy.
Well,
He's crazy.
Yeah, humble enough to know that you can't game plan and you can't override play calling and feel like you could take over everything. I mean, he's not humble.
Yeah, be humble enough to get up there and tell them you're calling the defensive plays and that you override Fangio. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, something's wrong with him. Slick David Super Chat goes, we definitely beating the Giants and Bengals after what I'm seeing right now from them. I mean, I think they probably will beat them, but it'll be a close game. It'll be a game where we're going to keep going through what we go through every week because nothing changes, and so we'll see. Hunter, if we are in danger, Hurts only knows how to push. He don't got hands. Oh, what comes first, Sirianni getting fired or McCarthy? Oh, I think Nick. I actually think I think Nick is closer to the end than people realize. I don't think Lurie wants to fire people in season, but I mean I think the way Nick acted today kind of makes me feel like maybe we're getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Nick said he called the defense. So I mean, why would you? Even if he did, why would he say that? That's like you're undermining your coordinator.
If he's doing that, then there's probably stuff he's not. There's probably other secrets we don't even know, and that scares the shit out of me.
My God. Bubba says, "Stay hungry and humble." This other guy's got to go. I know.
Hungry.
Hungry and humble. Who you booing now? Who you booing now? Stay hungry and humble. Who you booing now, mother humpers? Get the hell out of here, dude. That guy's crazy. Guy's crazy, man. I think he's a little gagoots, Dog, thank you for super chat. Goes Brian on a mission to buy us out of his Hurts contract to $5 a time. I respect the commitment. Yeah, man. Humble, be humble.
Hungry and humble.
Hungry and humble, and he's yelling at the fans. Yeah, okay. Hungry and humble. Oh, yeah. Who you booing now? Oh, yeah, and I call the defense, too. Yeah, real humble sounding, right? And why did Nick shave his head? He's getting ready for X.
I can't, dude.
He's walking the mile. Oh man, he's like maybe he just needs a goatee. You know what I mean? Maybe he's Breaking Bad. Nick's Breaking Bad. He's Walter White. Oh man, there's always something,
I don't know.
Always something. That's pretty funny though. But anyways, I think we should get out of here before I don't know what. Before we find something else about Nick. Oh my God. Nick Sirianni.
Nick would make a very humble meth dealer.
Jeez, man.
Hungry and humble. Hungry.
Dude, if he says, say my name, that's it, dude. We're done. Say my name. I am the danger. Oh, shit. We're in trouble.
I am the danger.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, that's right. That's what I'm saying, Bubba. This team has no juice. Look at their faces in the locker room. The team is. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I mean when we talk about like coming out and how they look at the beginning of the game. Like there's no juice. There is none. It's like they have to jumpstart themselves. It's true. Yeah, poor Nick with the dry sponge. Yes, walking the mile.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I'll have one more video later tonight. It'll be I don't know, probably an hour or two.
He'll be hungry and
I'll
humble.
I'll be hungry and humble. Well, I'll be humble. Mark Holmes will be hungry because I got clips of him eating. So, yeah, I'll be humble. He'll be hungry. Oh my God, hungry and humble. This guy is a nut. This guy is really a lunatic, Joey. I don't know, man. I don't know. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this fucking week goes, but it's gonna be an
telling
interesting
you,
week.
by like later in the later in the season, the dude's gonna have a goatee. Next week, you watch, he's gonna start growing a goatee. You know, he's Breaking Bad. But he's more like Jesse Pinkman, really, than Walter. You know, he's more like Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, maybe.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. We will talk to you later. Eagles win. That's the most important thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy the win. Enjoy the Cowboys loss. And then we'll see. Hopefully, down the road, we can get, we can be better next week. David Super Chat goes, from no duties to calling the offense and now the defense. Can't wait for Nick to be under center for next week. I know, right? I'm waiting for Nick to come in there and say, I made a trade. I was involved in that trade. Oh, man, this guy. It's crazy. All right, guys, we out of here. Peace.
Beat out.
You got plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off, it's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott!
Where the hell is he throwing
Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb! Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb! You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.